Welcome into the Chiefs Report following a 27-24 loss to the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship Game in overtime. The Chiefs absolutely melted down after a 21-3 lead late in the first half, led 21-10 at halftime, and then got limited to 3 points on the final play of the second half, I might add. And then Cincinnati gets a stop in overtime and gets a game-winning field goal. They win it 27-24. You see the stat comparison. Patrick Mahomes, 275, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, all 3 touchdowns, and 220 of his passing yards in the first half. Got shut out in the second half. Shut down, I should say. Joe Burrow, nothing special. Basically, the Bengals let the Chiefs self-implode. I mean, that's all I can do to explain it. The Bengals defense made adjustments at halftime, but make no mistake about it, this was an absolute meltdown by Kansas City. All right, what's your one-word reaction to the Chiefs' loss to the Bengals in the AFC Championship Game? Get your one word in right now in the comments. My one word, choke. An absolute choke job by Patrick Mahomes and by Andy Reid. The end of the first half play calling was abysmal, and then they let that carry over into the second half. If you missed what happened at the end of the first half, this is what happened. First and goal at the 1. No timeouts left for the Chiefs. 9 seconds left. So they can't run the ball. First down, they do a sprint out to the left. No one's open. Mahomes eats it. 5 seconds left. And on second and goal at the 1, they run a little fake jet sweep to Hill. Nothing's open in the end zone. And then Mahomes throws it to Hill in the flat, and he doesn't get to the end zone. Tackled inbounds halftime. That's on Mahomes. And you know what? What's even more on Mahomes, and especially on Andy Reid, this part's on Andy Reid, they let the end of the first half carry over throughout the entire second half. They were not the same after that. They were mentally beaten, and they couldn't recover. That's soft. That's soft. The Chiefs have to own that. They were absolutely mentally weak in the second half. You got to flush that shit. You're still up 21-10 at halftime getting the ball out of the locker room. Get the ball, go score, go up 28-10, you're fine. They didn't do it. They kept going 3 and out. Then Mahomes threw a pick. Then, you keep punting it with Tommy Townsend. Your defense is fighting to keep in it, but you give the Bengals chance after chance, they're going to take a lead on you. And despite Harrison Butker forcing overtime and then the Chiefs winning the coin flip in overtime, Mahomes threw another pick on 3rd and 10. It was a choke job, and there's 2 people to blame, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. No one else to blame for this loss. Mr. Albert with the super chat. Chiefs trying to play too cute. They got too cute at the end of that first half. There's no doubt. And you know what? My producer, Marshall Green, at the end of the game, I think he was right and I was wrong. I was saying, run the ball on second down, eat up 40 seconds, and he said, just score. And they ran a weird RPO, and instead of throwing it away, Mahomes took the sack, lost 5 yards, and then on 3rd and goal at the 10, gets sacked again, fumbles. Luckily, the Chiefs recovered. But the Chiefs, instead of clock management, they should have just tried to score a touchdown to win the game. Instead, they got cute, and it bit them in the ass, and they lost the game. Tyler Gearing, how do we not score a TD inside the 10, 1st and goal? 1st and goal at the 5, couldn't score. My argument was run it on second down, too, and I still think that would have been a decent idea. Hand it to McKinnon, try and get a couple yards. Then you take a timeout with 40 seconds left, and then it's like 3rd and goal at the 2. You got 1 play to get into the end zone. I like the Chiefs' chances in that situation, and instead, they took a sack on 2nd and 3rd down and made a chip shot field goal, a harder one. Butker did made it, but rest was history after that. We all saw what happened. PS4, the new frontier. Who do you hold accountable for this loss? Should the Chiefs fire Eric? Guys, I'll say it again, and we can ask you guys too. I think we've got the question for you guys. Who do you guys blame for this loss to the Bengals? Who do you blame? I blame 2 people, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid did not get the good vibes going after the end of the first half. That's on the head coach and the quarterback. And I blame Mahomes for that decision at the end of the first half to throw that into the flat to Tyreek Hill. That was a stupid idea. I hate the play call, but he's got to understand that if that ball's not in the end zone, you just throw it at Hill's feet and you take the 3 points, or you have one more play from the 1. Maybe you run it, with 1 second left because the full playbook's open. But there's only 2 people to blame: Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Period. End of story. I give the Bengals credit, but Cincinnati didn't do anything crazy. It's not like Jamar Chase got hot like he did in the Week 17 game and they just couldn't stop him. The Chiefs just kept choking. They kept punting. They were dropping passes. Mahomes was missing throws. Like, they let that two-play sequence at the end of the first half just mentally drain them. They did. I don't know how else to explain it. I think that's what happened, and it carried over for the whole second half. It's truly shocking. Ricardo Banderas, my problem with Andy is he goes away from what's working for long stretches of the game. That's another thing, too. What was the play calling in the second half? Now, I'd have to watch, the all-22, the tape, see what different looks the Bengals gave, and give Cincinnati credit. I'm sure they changed up some looks. But literally, everything was working in the first half, and nothing worked in the second half. I've never seen it flip a switch like that, go from 100 to 0. It was... it's almost as if Mahomes got hurt and Chad Henne had to play. But that's not what happened. I mean, you just hope this doesn't carry over into next season because that's the type of loss that can really mentally mess with you, man. The Chiefs should not have lost this game. In fact, it should have been over at halftime. It should have been 28-10 at halftime. You're getting the ball back, and the game is over. But it didn't work out, and it's very, very frustrating. We'll answer this question, and then we'll tell you about our sponsor on today's video. Kevin Durantula, why would you not run the ball on the goal line on the one in the second half or get the ball to be up 24-10, kick that winner that sends us to OT like bruh? If you're talking about running the ball at the end of the first half, they didn't have a timeout. So if you get stuffed, the clock runs out and halftime's over. If you're talking about at the end of the game inside the 5, I would have run it on second down, but they didn't. They didn't run it on second down. I don't know why. They did a weird little play action. Mahomes got sacked, and on third down, he got sacked too. So just brutal. The situational stuff in this game was not handled well. And that's something that Andy Reid has had issues with in the past. So that's all very disappointing. BetUS today is a sponsor for our post-game show. The Chiefs are out, but if you want to go bet on the Super Bowl, you can do that. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Use our promo code Chiefs125 to get 125% deposit bonus. Put down $100, get $125 for free. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. You look at Mahomes' stats, and the raw stats aren't terrible, but believe me when I say he was awful in the second half. He was awful. Threw for 220 and 3 scores in the first half. Threw for 55 and 2 picks in the second half. It was a tale of two halves for Mahomes and this offense. It's honestly hard to predict. Yeah, we have the halftime numbers here, actually. Shout out Marshall Green for pulling these up. This is what it was at halftime, and I get it. You're pissed off that you don't get the touchdown or even a field goal late in the half, but you're up 21-10 and you're getting the ball. Mahomes was 17 of 20, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Joe Burrow wasn't doing much. You're in control of the game. You get the ball out of the locker room. Travis Kelce drops a third down pass. Momentum even further shifts in Cincinnati's direction. I don't know how you own this one, man. Like, if you're the quarterback, you just got to carry it. It's on Mahomes. He's the $500 million man. He lost this game. End of story. Stormy KC, do you think Mahomes should stop doing the dancing in the backfield because most of our sacks was because... I mean, that's kind of who he is, though, right? He extends plays and makes big plays downfield, but 2 of those sacks he took were him holding the ball and waiting for something to come open. I'd love to watch the film of this, and I probably will, because I don't think he trusted what he was seeing. I don't know what happened. Again, I point to the end of the first half, but the Chiefs at one point went from we're doing whatever we want to all of a sudden we can't even complete a pass. Seriously, that's what happened. It's hard to comprehend. Subscribe because we're into the offseason now, believe it or not. I can't believe it after a 21-3 start, but the offseason is upon us. We'll sleep on this one and we'll get over it. The trek to Super Bowl 57 starts tomorrow. Chiefs news, rumors, live streams, free agency draft, all that coverage starts right away. I'm still just at a loss of words at how this one lost. But please subscribe, support the show, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Eric with the super chat. Does Steve Spagnuolo deserve some blame? Some, but if you look at this, the defense was not bad in this game. It really wasn't. I mean, Cincinnati, you just look at the raw stats here. They had, 359 in total yards. I mean, Joe Burrow, you look at the stats, he was okay. 23 of 38, 250, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He was not special. Neither was Jamar Chase. He was limited to under 60 yards. Guys, the offense blew it. They blew it. The offense blew the game. I'm not going to say Joe Burrow doesn't deserve credit. I'm not going to say the Chiefs' defense was perfect, but the Chiefs' defense was so much better than they were in Week 17 against the Bengals. I mean, I thought Spags called a fine game. Now, they couldn't get a ton of pressure on Burrow, but a lot of that was the Bengals' game plan to get the ball out quickly. But if you told me this would be Burrow's stat line, I'd be like, oh, Chiefs are going to win. Burrow has to be special to win this game. He was not special, and they still won. RTMG, do you think that would have happened anyway, or do you think it was because we went for it before half? What do you believe what would have happened? Just losing? It shouldn't have mattered. You were in control. Whether you're up 11, 14, or 18 at the half, those are the three scenarios. You're in control. You're getting the ball back. If the offense scores 10 points after halftime, you win. You can only score 3. Like, the offense blew it. They choked. I'm not scared of saying it. The Chiefs choked. Kudos to the Bengals for taking advantage, but the Chiefs choked. There's no other way around it. Deso, do you think he was scared of losing and they got in his head? I do think Mahomes at points got, I don't know if scared, but like he just wouldn't throw the ball. He didn't trust what he was seeing. He was scared to make a mistake, and because of that, he did make mistakes. I don't know, man. This is just one of those weird ones. This offense for about 2 months now has been so hot. Through the playoffs, through 2.5 games, this offense was unstoppable, and they let a 2-play sequence just completely unravel them. I've never seen anything like it. I really haven't. It's hard to comprehend, but it happened, and this is the NFL, and crazy shit happens, and that's why we love the sport, but that's why games like this are tough to comprehend because you just don't understand why. You know, when you're a coach, you always want to understand why something happened. I have no idea. Like, reacting live like this, I don't have a clue how this happened, but it did. And at the end of the day, the Bengals are moving on and the Chiefs are going home, which is very disappointing.